Chairman.
When I first came to Congress, Mr. Chairman, I have the great honor of befriending the gentleman from Alaska, the Dean of the House, Don Young. I had the privilege of sitting next to Don for 5 years before his death. Don told me when I first came to Congress, he said, Clay, if you want to understand this body, you have to understand a simple fact. He said the Republican Party is primarily a party of businessmen. The Democrat Party is primarily a party of attorneys. That's being shown quite clearly today. So let this old street cop give some of our fancy attorneys on the other side of the aisle a little history lesson. As historians summarize, the actions of the delegates of the Constitutional Convention stated that, in summary, through the early debates, every speaker referred to neglect of duty and misconduct in office as impeachable offenses. And after Madison objected to the vagueness of the proposed impeachment clause, Mason then moved to add high crimes and misdemeanors. This passed 8-3 and became the orthodox phraseology. The vote in favor of the compromise motion suggests that the delegates understood that the new terms included neglect of duty. The addition of misdemeanors to the list of offenses meant that the House of Representatives was permitted to charge officials with misuse of power and neglect of duty. As has been quoted by many scholars, specifically, the term misdemeanors in its original meaning carried with it less the sense of a smaller or less serious criminal law offense, which would be today's common usage of the word, and more the broader sense of misconduct or misbehavior, literally of not demeaning oneself properly, misdemeaning in the exercise of an official capacity or position. The breadth of the constitutional language employed as a standard for impeachment thus plainly embraces a range of congressional judgment extending beyond bare criminality as to what types of culpable official misconduct so amount to a betrayal of trust, responsibility, duty, or integrity as to warrant removal from office. And that's where we are today.
Will the gentleman...
My colleagues, no, I will not. You didn't yield to me, my brother. My colleagues across the aisle seem to say that it's acceptable that we've had 10 million illegal crossings in 3 years, that we've had pushing 300,000 Americans dead from opioid overdose. We're losing our country down there, and the man responsible for executing that policy is Alejandro Mayorkas. He will be impeached through this committee this day. Mr. Chairman, I yield.